We have a bonus Mets pick tonight or what? Jeez.
Powered by Riverside.
We have a bonus Mets pick or what?
Craziness.
The best thing is there are gonna be a couple people because there's not a lot that watch this and they're like, "Yeah, I like him, but like, freaking can't like Steve. Just how he looks is so annoying." Or for you, it's just funny because we watch shows and I'm like, I can't stand that guy's brutal. Whatever. So
Yeah.
somebody's doing that at home. There might be one guy in America that's watching. He's like, dude, that's Steve. I can't look at that guy. Like he just his mannerisms. He was almost. He was up late the
As
one
far
time.
as
He was almost falling
football, I
asleep. I
hate me.
really can't stand him.
I don't give a crap. Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Oh
you.
no, no, no. Well, no.
Good
I
for
think
you.
it's actually. I'll go further and say
Oh,
it's
I
hilarious.
rewatch myself. I hate myself when I rewatch myself. But
That'd be
did you
you
hear
know,
the
like, all
clip?
right.
Did you hear the
So
clip at the
nobody
beginning?
hates Phil. Nobody hates Phil in this show more than Phil could hate
No,
himself.
no,
So
no,
well,
no,
he'll
not
bring
at
it
all.
on.
Did you hear the clip at the beginning?
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
on.
that's the play.
Phil's lead guy, tech
Oklahoma,
guy, show builder guy.
not a tech
Um,
guy, but
his
not a
idea a
tech guy. I wish
while
if I
ago,
was
and
a tech guy
I
that would
might
be
have
going.
pushed the idea more. Than he's taken over 95%. I'm just along for the ride.
No, this is great. So
It's great.
big week this last week. We're doing a quick double show. Main thing is the recap of last week. This week coming up, um, not as exciting. I'm sure it'll still be crazy, but we'll just go over our picks in a couple games this week. But anyway, it's all about last week. We'll start with obviously a little personal here. So Oklahoma comes back to beat Auburn 27-21, down 21-10. Couldn't get a first down besides a friggin' penalty. They needed defensive penalties to move the ball and get a first down. Uh, 9 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Finally, Hawkins Jr. he hit Hester down the sideline for like 60 yards, set up a touchdown, 21-16, and then got a stop, punted again, and then it was coming down to the wire. Auburn got a couple first downs there, and that was the play you just heard there. Kip Lewis, pick six on 3rd and 3 that would have pretty much been the ball game. Peyton Thornton didn't see him or panicked. I know they had five spread out wide. Great idea blitzing six. I don't know if they actually blitzed six, but they put six in there, two on the edges, two extra on the edges, put some pressure, and pretty much just five across. And one of them was Kip Lewis, the
It
captain of
seemed
the
like it
game,
seemed like one of those. It seemed like
and
one of those panic
player of the
picks.
game probably.
Yeah,
Yeah, so unbelievable. And then Hawkins 2 point conversion, one of the craziest dives ever. Just shows he's all in. That 2 point conversion dive into the end zone, tumble in, could have got killed out there. Unbelievable. And then Oklahoma holds on. Didn't still had faith, but it was getting dicey, and it could have been welcome to the SEC. 0-2. Now you lost to Auburn, who's struggling and horrible. So, but we made it through. We got the bye. We got Texas. So, any thoughts on the game?
well,
OU.
yeah. Sadly, went inside. Life happens. Went inside, grabbed a quick slice because our
Well, that's
nieces
cool.
were over and nephew. So grabbed a quick slice. They'll go nameless on this one. Change the game out here in the porch. Change the game over. So I missed about 6 minutes. I come out. I'm like, yeah, oh you, and you right when I did it, you hit me up, and I'm like, what the heck? So I missed. Watched all that nonsense of a game. Missed that part until pretty much just after the pick six. I saw him. I
Yeah,
saw the catch, and then I missed about I guess about 6 minutes live time, maybe five. So anyway,
and it
awesome
was
game.
6 minutes where we
Listen,
finally got a
it's.
touchdown. But yeah, yeah,
I mean, this is what most teams deal with, especially on the Homer side. If you're an Oklahoma fan, this hasn't been your livelihood where you have to deal with this and just hope to win games. Right? They're 10-2, 11-1, so many years. Right, winningest program since World War II. Good stat league, Corso, and so they're not used to that. And I was talking to Dad and you and the group text and all, and you got to enjoy the wins. Wins are wins. They're nice, even the tough Florida ones. You got to enjoy the wins. You certainly don't want your team to lose. Yeah, is Auburn great? Absolutely not by a long shot. I don't think they're bad. I think they're in a tough spot in the SEC, but you just have to you have to admire the fight, and they might have got a little break on a punt or on a pick. I don't know if they score if it's punted, but that's a win. So I say it says more about them in this game, but beat a solid. At least we think a solid Auburn team.
Yeah, no, it was unbelievable. And again, everyone, in our text threads, defense not coming alive today. We let up 21 points. They had 480 some yards.
Well, they're probably gassed for every other week
70
they're
of
out
them were
there.
desperation at the end. Peyton Thorne had like an 18 and a 10 and a 40 yard at the end, very end of the game. Ben don't break, had a defensive touchdown, had a bunch of big stops. Their defense won the game again for them. Hawkins stepped up a little
Yeah,
bit. Still, the defense just won the game again. So,
offenses and schemes are still too good. So a good defensive performance nowadays is still going to be a game a lot of times in the 20s. It is what it is. You're not going to hold
yeah.
teams often to teens and single digits. Not you're playing the SEC. So
And then we won't preview too much. We're not gonna preview Red River, obviously Texas, Oklahoma. Now we'll get into that next week. Big preview show next week. But Oklahoma does need to figure out the offense and get some weapons back. Get at least Anderson or Farouk. So we'll see what happens there. But let's move on to the game. Bama beats Georgia. Instant classic.
yeah, there wasn't much
I
else in
barely
that week.
watched the first half. I'll go through each quarter the possessions, and then you let me know your thoughts. So we'll start. So it's 28-0 Bama, and I'll go through the second quarter here, and then you tell me your thoughts at halftime. So Georgia scores a touchdown, 28-7. Bama turnover on downs. It's going to be a game. Then Georgia throws a pick right afterwards. Beck throws a pick. Then Milrow throws a pick right back. Now Georgia has it back down 28-7. Beck, sack, fumble, safety, 30-7 at halftime. Had a chance to get back in. What do you think of 37 at halftime when it could have been closer?
I honestly think,
they had
I
a
didn't think
shot?
they would. I didn't think they would. I thought they would put up a valiant effort. Honestly, like if you would have asked me then, I probably would have said 37-24, maybe 28. Right, get within close to a score. So I'm not shocked by that. Yeah, I'm not shocked by that. I'm more shocked by how many stinking possessions can come out of a second half and how the scoring went. And I'm not shocked that Georgia stayed in it because you got a team with way too much pride and a great coach. So that was not shocking. It was shocking how it went down.
Yeah. So now third quarter was very quick. It was kind of a wasted quarter. So 30-7, Georgia.
Yeah, it was punts. It
I
was
picked
awful.
Georgia. You picked Bama. So I was like, I guess I was just wrong. So it's 30-7 in the third
I
quarter.
did
There's
say
only a
they had
couple
to jump
possessions
out on them, and they
right
did
away.
jump out on them.
Yeah. So I'll do the third quarter possessions here. Georgia gets the ball at halftime, 3 and out. Then Bama, 3 and out. Then Georgia, a nice long drive. They had two fourth down conversions, touchdown, 2-point conversion, Bama field goal, end of third, 33-15. So at that point, are you thinking, could they do it? Or no, it's just they didn't get enough back? Or
Yeah, they didn't get enough backs. There's still too many wasted possessions in the third quarter. So without crazy detail, that's what I thought. My real surprise, and you'll have your takeaway then, was just, and this is going forward, obviously two class offenses. I'll say obviously better, maybe two of the best. I think there's got to be a couple better offenses out there, but even if they're 1 and 2 in the country on offense, let's just say, how about the defense is getting trashed? That was definitely something looking back, and you're like, all right, these are great teams, great game, nobody's mad. But looking forward, a lot of these teams have won those national championships between the two of them and Clemson, played some tough defense and didn't give up a ton of scoring. So anyway, that was my overall takeaway
no,
from the
I
game.
couldn't
But
hear
there you go,
your
the fourth
last
quarter.
minute until the defenses. Yeah, I couldn't hear your last minute because connection. I think it'll play on the audio though. I think it was my connection.
Yeah,
But and then you mentioned at
sorry
the
about
end
that. I
the
was just saying
defenses
that was
just
the surprise for
what
me
went with the defense.
because you'll get into the fourth quarter. That was my takeaway. I'll tell you what I was saying after you
So
finish out the quarter.
hopefully that went through. I just couldn't hear it, but
Yeah.
I think it still went through. We'll see what's up with the
Yep.
connection. I think it was said mine was messed up. So and you're the one talking. So
I'm always looking for something in that game. Always looking for something deeper, just because, like the whole world, anybody, a 2-year-old could tell you it was a freaking awesome game, and it was really an awesome half. But we would take that any day in a championship or a semifinal. But my takeaway is, even though they're both great, even though they both have great offenses, and really you probably say two of the better, if not best, quarterbacks this year too. I'll give Milrow his props, and even Beck's a stud because he'll be drafted early. But these teams gave up tons of points. They got thrashed. They got thrashed on deep balls. There was missed tackles, right? And they got all these turnovers, and they still got thrashed. And you can make up the whole, well, they're going to be passing. They're passing. Georgia couldn't run for a half. They weren't allowed to. They had to throw the ball, and they waxed them. And Bama went into a shell. And then when they need it, they got back down the field really quickly on Georgia. So besides the obvious, that's my takeaway later in the season. Are these defenses a little bit behind, even though you were playing great offenses? So maybe something to be desired there. Maybe you're not surprised when these teams in a playoff gets outscored in a higher scoring game.
Sure. Is this the kind of year a team like Oklahoma, like we finally have a defense now? Now, obviously, before it's like we have to match their offense because they're going to score on us every single time. Is there any kind of defense? Can Michigan or Oklahoma, or defense around the country play defense?
We've done this debate. It's flipped around a little bit to where there's been years, especially as a Gator fan, gosh, where's the offense? Where's the offense? We just want to score. They can score too. We just want to score, right? But then you get obviously big games, championships and all, and even some of the lesser Florida teams. And when Oklahoma was good and still had that rut, like mid to late 2000s with Stoops when they felt like they sat on the ball and everything, having that defense, okay, keeps you in everything. So that's something to behold. And you see what you see with Oklahoma now, and you might see with a few other teams. I think Tennessee's included. That's why I think Tennessee on both sides can be there at the end. But we always go back and forth to not steal the debate. But I don't at least hang around. Maybe Oklahoma is not the perfect example, and maybe I'll be wrong in 9 weeks. But if they keep me around, but you're right. They beat a really, really high-powered, really, really good beat. Lost to Tennessee, but that defense did everything in that game to hold them in point. Everything,
and had zero
and was gassed. And was gassed and still had a couple turnovers and still kept them hanging around.
We'll discuss that anyway.
So you're not wrong.
Yeah, so who knows? But let's get back to the game.
Look what a Kentucky did. Look at a Kentucky did to Georgia, right? Oh, even I said, and things have changed because they just beat Ole Miss. But Kentucky stinks, or Kentucky will just keep it close. Well, they beat Ole Miss and they held Georgia by 1. Georgia scored what? How many points on Bama? 33. Am I losing my mind? 33 points. 40.
Sorry, Georgia 34.
Darn near and a half, however you want to say that. And
Kentucky allowed 13.
Yeah, they allowed 13 against Kentucky. So maybe a really good point you're making. Maybe it is back to, hey, we'll take a D with some ugly O performances if that D can travel and it can keep us in games.
Yeah, a lot to be said. Let's get back to the fourth quarter real quick.
Yep.
So the fourth quarter starts out at 33-15. Then Beck. Another sack fumble. That's where you got to be like, game. Sack fumble. Completely 33-15. Bama gets the ball back. Then Bama punts. There's 10 minutes left. 33-15. So we're down 18. And I'll go over this real quick. Just like that, down 18 with Bama's ball with 10 minutes left, all of a sudden, Georgia has the lead. It's just a Beck touchdown, a punt. Beck touchdown, a punt. And right away, touchdown. Georgia's up. Unbelievable. Unbelievable turn of events in 6 minutes. Touchdown, pump. Unbelievable.
And that call you out.
Georgia was in the lead.
Yeah, and that's when I got ahead of you with the Hulu for about 30 seconds. And you thought I was joking. I think 2 separate conversations, especially when Beck threw it up and they went, I guess, another 70-some yards. And I was like, you're like, what? I was like, I tell you now, they scored. You're like, you serious? Like it was absolutely crazy. So what a game.
Yeah, I don't know if were you referring to when you said that. I
was referring to the last score.
When Beck scored the first play to make it 34-33 when Georgia scored.
That
the
one.
67-yard bomb, to was it Dylan Bell? Yeah, Dylan Bell, 67 right away, and then 75-yarder Milrow to the 17-year-old Ryan Williams, unbelievable. He made some moves. They missed some tackles.
He can't drive, but he can fly.
Yep. So then they take the lead again, 41-34. Then Georgia drives down so quickly, down to the 20 of Bama, throws a pick. I think it was near the end zone at the couple-yard line. And there's the game. What a crazy fourth quarter and a crazy game.
Yeah,
I
that's a
mean,
shame on the throw there. Not to dissect one play, and who are we? We're not college football coaches, but um, it almost seemed like a little bit desperate when it didn't have to be. I know it didn't do much more than time, but there was a clear pass interference 2 plays before. I know they got the first down, but just a little more time would have been on their side, and the yardage. I think that would have helped. But that's little things, and I think he kind of threw up a half desperation ball. It didn't have to be that, but receiver thinks it's going to fall into him, and you don't attack the ball, and that's your ball game. So that's a little fundamental there. And hey, back at a great game. The performance and the comeback was awesome. Even though he's controlled Georgia offense for a lot of years, he still showed his talent. And hey, he had he had fourth turnover with that. Am I wrong? Because he
yep.
had
So
a
I
fumble, he
mentioned
had
so
fourth
four
turnover.
turnovers for Georgia and
Pretty.
one for Bama.
The coach won't say that, but pretty good four turnover game.
Yeah,
One,
439
two or
yards.
three, you might want. You might win. That's what I mean. They did that, and they did that mostly in a half because they were stuck in that first half. They really couldn't get anything going. That line of scrimmage was dominated by Bama, and it's an inside-out game in the SEC, and that's what you saw.
Yeah. So I would put so again, yeah, back 439 passing yards, four turnovers,
Yeah,
one for Bama.
turnovers,
Georgia
no
out
football.
first down,
Yeah,
26-21 Georgia. They and it wasn't
yeah,
like Bama's just like let's play like a little prevent defense, let them move. No, they just moved down consecutively, moved down, moved down,
no.
moved down,
And
moved
you
down.
can do all the what ifs all you want, but if you trim four turnovers down to two, that could be 600 yards of course of total offense, maybe passing, right? And then you're
Yeah,
like, whoa, and you have a whole different outlook on that game, the result, and now it's like, man, Bama's D got
yeah,
thrashed at home in a comeback as opposed to. That's why
yeah.
turnovers matter.
Yeah, no, it's an unbelievable game. 41-34 Bama. Can you see me? I can't see you. You're just kind of
Again,
frozen, but I think it's still going to work
it's happened.
one way or
Listen,
so.
it's happened a ton with you, and I don't think we've ever seen it. So I
Oh,
just
really?
assume we're good. Yeah, it's
Okay,
good.
I
It,
never.
it
Well,
seems
yeah,
to
you
pick
said it
up.
yourself.
Shout
I
out
think it picks it
Riverside.
up. Yep,
It
it's
seems to
constantly
pick up
uploading.
the stream. So when mine's bad and you see mine bad, it's fine. It's been
Exactly.
fine.
As long
When
as
yours is,
those,
yeah,
yeah,
yep.
yep, perfect. So again, my takeaway is I think Georgia's better than Bama still. I wouldn't have
I
said
don't
that if the game was 41.
I'm with you. I think Bama needed that, even though I know it was revenge for Georgia. I think Bama needed that, and I think this fuels Georgia more. And they have big games, and I think they're ready for their big games, and I think they'll be fine.
Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah, I think but who knows? I mean, well done, Bama. Who thought this with the board coming in right away?
Yeah, definitely not
Unbelievable
that way.
move.
Well, listen, if there's, we didn't talk about that because we didn't get into this till after, but listen, I don't know the guy like that, but from what he's done at all levels, he's a guy that's built up from every level. Who knows? 10
No
years ago,
kidding.
you might have somebody say, dude, you're such a good low level coach. There's no way you have to try to get to the upper echelon and prove how good you are. And he is, what I can think of steady wise, is the best replacement Alabama, the best replacement Alabama could have gotten. I don't think there's a
Yeah,
question. I don't
yeah.
think there's a question. I think he fits who they
It's
are.
working out so far.
You're not going to see much out of him. Obviously, flipped down the sideline on that one call, which I don't blame him. But he's steady. He gets it. He's a great coach, and what a performance!
And they lost a lot of playmakers, but I guess shout out, I guess Nick Saban, his parting
Yeah,
gift is
yeah,
Ryan Williams,
yeah,
the
exactly. I
freshman,
got this. Yeah, I
17-year-old
recruited this
receiver.
kid at 14. You're lucky. Here you go.
Yeah, here you go. Here you go.
Where he's a
17.
freshman at 12. Right? Yeah, here you are. I
Yeah.
told you they'll replace you. They're awesome. You replace speedsters with speedsters. It happens. It doesn't take guys long. If they can burn you, if they're on the outside, if they can run routes, and they'll get coached up quick. You don't need to be a junior or senior to learn their offense and adjust.
Yeah.
It's the big guys. It's
Yeah.
the inside
So,
guys that have to grow and get stronger and deal with seniors when they're freshmen. That's what you don't want to have to replace, in my opinion.
100%. So, final question. What was the last game you remember being better than that one? I can't off the top of my head because we didn't plan this or anything or think about it, but it just came
No,
to
no,
my
no,
head
no.
now. I don't
Straight up,
remember that
straight
one.
up,
Or
straight up. Best game. It was
Texas USC. I mean,
no,
well,
no, no.
no,
That's so no
Red River.
Clemson.
I mean, Red River. Honestly,
Yeah, yeah, but Clemson. The Clemson Bama national championship game with Watson in the corner was
yeah.
pretty. Was
But
like,
that had all the stakes as well. If this was a
yeah,
championship
yeah. I'm
game,
not saying because of the state. I mean, well, Yeah, we could pick a Big Sky game too, but with that's just what I remember in my head. Like last huge one with that kind of outcome was that in my mind.
Sure, you
There
can't
was
pick a
back
Big
and forth.
Sky. You can't. You could. Yeah, and even if you
Yeah,
pick a Red River, the teams weren't quite there. So this has to be
sure. Well, Red
the
River's
best
had some nutty.
BTS
Yeah,
since maybe
Red
them.
River always seems to pull something out.
Well, yeah. Again, we'll get into that Red River. Two out of the last three have been absolutely the craziest games I've seen from
Yeah,
Oklahoma history.
I'm 0
But
one.
yeah,
So
so maybe the Clemson Deshaun Watson. Other than that, I mean, it was unbelievable. Nice treat early in the season. So we'll see what we get this week.
yeah, I mean, the other one comes to mind, I guess. And again, recent, the huge game semifinal was the Ohio State Georgia. Georgia with the comeback, the missed field goal from
Yeah,
Ohio State, the
yeah.
pull hook,
Ohio State, Georgia,
and that kid.
Bama, Michigan last year was unbelievable.
Oh
Those
yeah,
two,
well we could
unbelievable.
start. Yeah, it's coming back to us now.
So there's been a lot, but we get a
Yeah,
treat
there's been a
in week
lot.
5, luckily here.
Luckily, yeah, happily, there's been a lot.
Crazy we're already on to week 6 here, but let's
All right,
go
we're at
to
22, so
let's go
we're
to
22. A little picks recap.
yeah, let's go to winners and losers. I just have a couple here. Mike Stoops in Kentucky,
Dang, I'll be danged.
going in there to Ole Miss and winning that game, unbelievable. Just steady defense the whole game. Ole Miss is probably going back and say we should have just got more possessions and went faster, but they just beat them. They just beat them fair and square on the road. And credit to them after losing to Georgia to have a
They
tough first
Kentucky
half.
them,
They were able
man.
to win that
They
game.
Kentucky them.
Unbelievable.
That's how you usually
Unbelievable.
have to win games. That's what they did. Um,
Yeah.
my shout out, I'll go. There's not much this week, like you said, the obvious games, whatever. I don't know who watched, but Arizona late, you know, nice performance and a comeback on that.
For sure. Yep.
Um,
Not the most exciting game, but a great win for Arizona at Utah. They showed that they're
no,
back.
yeah, and that's what you didn't see the 2 weeks prior, or the week prior with Utah having what's his name out? Losing my mind. 7th-year quarterback. Yeah,
Rising
rising
It
with
played for
rising. I mean, and they got an unsteady performance. It's tough with that kid being in, out, hanging over the shoulder. I mean, what a guy he's been for their program. But at some point, like he's here, he's still there, he's in the building, he's still the starter whenever he's healthy, but he's not healthy half the time. So is it
Yeah,
taken away from these other guys? And you got to think after
sure.
what, probably 15, 16 starts between last year and this year, that it is affecting these guys. Um,
Yep.
so that was probably, that you don't really see that kind of Utah performance, and a
Yeah,
gritty one from Arizona because it's not like they lit it up all over the place, but good
for
performance.
sure. All right, let's move along. So we got little bit more to cover here. I'm just going to do the Cam Ward play. That shovel pass thing when he was falling down was unbelievable. And then my loser, the refs, the Michigan onside kick, unbelievable. You can't call that offsides and not have replay review. They just changed the rule. Unbelievable. Minnesota should have had a chance. Horrible call to not have that be able to be reviewed. Unbelievable. And
Yeah,
another loser, the VTech catch against Miami probably wasn't a catch. You have no idea if it was. But if you call it on the field, why
yeah,
even call it
you
on
were
the
saying
field? What
that.
do you do? No one knows. So don't make it. So it has to be inconclusive. It wasn't inconclusive that he didn't catch it. It's just so inconclusive doesn't mean
Yeah,
100%. It
it's
means
whatever the
probably
call is. They're never going to go out and put their nuts
totally.
on the line and make that flip call. There's no way.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know.
they made no. I'm saying they made the flip call to Miami, to incomplete is where it's like it
Oh
wasn't.
wait, that
It
was
wasn't
sorry.
inconclusive
I was out and about. That was on the field. That was on the field to catch.
on the
That's
field
my
of the
fault.
catch.
I
No,
was
that's yeah.
I
Yeah,
was at a party. I saw it, but I was like, oh, they didn't call it.
yeah. You
No
can't.
way. That's my fault.
Yeah. No, it's fine. No, I'm just saying. Like, of course they weren't 100% sure it should be overturned. They're just like, we think it maybe wasn't a catch, so let's call it incomplete. Unbelievable. I
I
think the
didn't know
refs.
that because I didn't
No,
hear any of the
yeah.
volume. I just was watching. I was
I
like, oh,
could be
dang.
wrong, and I'm pretty. Yeah, they called it a catch on the field.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
And then other games, Kansas
So they
State
did have at
beat
least a little
them.
guts. I don't know that I disagree with it now. If they had guts, then I'm all right with it. Whatever.
Yeah. No.
They a human look. That's how they want to do it. A human looked at it, and of course, this goes back to in this age, right? Why is anybody? Why would there be anybody on the field determining that? They're the guys on the field. Gotcha. There has to be a committee and a setup at every game. How many games are there a week? 70. I mean, There has to be.
But the
There
whole
has to
thing
be
is that
guys like me and you, as we always said. Pay me 50,000. Not nowadays, but pay me 50,000, and I'll sit in a booth all weekend. I'll learn it all. Anyway,
my
so
thing is
that's what
though,
you get.
but the rule book says inconclusive. That's
Mhm.
stupid. Just rewatch the play and see what you think. Like it's
Yeah,
not
yeah, yeah,
inconclusive. You don't have
yeah.
to be conclusive evidence for it.
Wild, wow.
All right, let's move along. USC crushed Wisconsin after being down 21-10. Rolled them.
Yeah,
USC's got
Wisconsin
Norm
just
offense
not.
amazing.
They're slipping. They're not. Yeah, they're slipping.
Yep.
There's not a whole lot of hope
Kansas
in that
State
program right
crushes
now.
Oklahoma State. They bounce back from getting killed by BYU. BYU amazing win at Baylor, holding on. BYU looks for real, 5-0. People picked them to be like almost last in the Big 12. They're
Crazy.
holding on so far. And then Notre Dame Louisville was kind of boring. I didn't watch all of it.
It was Notre Dame.
Um,
It was Notre Dame,
yep.
right?
And then last one, yeah, so they held their own. And then Penn State Illinois was also a little bit boring. Like you figure Penn State was probably just going to win the game. They're going to make the defensive plays. They beat Illinois 21-7. All
I
right, so
felt a lot
let's
closer
give
than
anything
that.
else. We'll move on to third down here. Our picks. Big week for us. Let's recap this quick. This is a big one. We'll clip this.
Finally,
So I went 3-0, no bonus. I had Florida State outright. Didn't get the bonus bet. I had Kentucky getting 16.5. They won outright. Nebraska -10. They covered late. And Oklahoma +1.5. They rolled their way to victory late in the fourth quarter. 3-0 for me brings me to 5-2 on the season. We got Weaz over here. Louisville +7 is a push.
yeah.
Oklahoma plus
Start off
1.5
with
a
that.
win. Illinois plus 17.5 a win. And is dark horse here. Louisiana over Wake Forest straight up win. So he goes 3-0
I
and
went
1.
the
Brings him
non-conventional.
to
Yeah.
4-2 and 1 on the season. So
But you
Weez 4
still,
2
you
and 1.
think about it. I get the bonus, but how it's set up, you still, it really is the same. You win the week, it affects your percentage because you didn't get your loss didn't count because it was your bonus game.
Sure. And we'll
Whereas
see how
for
many
me,
bonus points
yeah,
you
whereas
have.
for me, I did get a tie in there, which hopefully not many this year. But
Sure.
hey, we're back, so
We're back.
that feels
5 2
good.
and 1. 4
I'm
2
telling
and
you, they've
sorry,
been
4 2 and
thin.
1, 5
If
2
you're
and 1.
putting your own money on these games, right, and that's not what you're doing with us, but they're thin. There's not. I'm not seeing like I saw in years past. Hey, week 2, week 3, I have a good feel on these teams. I love that line. I'm not seeing a whole lot every week. And for the
Yeah.
outright ones, they're hard enough. It's hard to pick anybody outright, let alone win that one that I won. So anyway,
So as a group,
still
for the picks
guessing.
account here, we are 6-0 and 1 on the week. Look at our picks. Follow them next week. We're on a hot
Let's
streak
just leave
here.
it at that. Yeah,
We're picking them for
exactly.
fun here, but if you want to, look at it and do what you want with it, we're on a hot streak here. We can't
Yep.
wait for next week, but we'll do. Let's jump into the final segment here. Let's pick the game for this week. You want to start out with your picks for this week?
Yeah, it seems like they're just involved every week in some conversation, and um, I'll just take Michigan on the road as a dog.
Okay.
Obviously, I'm not. It's not my outright. It's only 1.5. Thought they'd
Yep.
maybe be favored themselves the 1.5. So maybe read into that line, but
Okay.
it'll be close, I think. But I'll still take Michigan. It's not the
Okay.
same Washington team. You can play the revenge game all you want. I think Michigan will keep the
We've
ball on
got
the ground.
Michigan.
I think they'll
What do
stay
you got?
keeping the ball on the ground. I think they'll play good defense, and I think they'll win.
All right. What else you got?
And then I have give me my zone of 6.5 Arizona. I just think they'll win by more than that. Put up some offense for once in a month. And then I'll also take. I don't
Arizona
I
minus
don't not like
6.5 for Weez.
yeah 6.5. I also I like what Nebraska's doing. I really like what Shiano's doing. Look at that schedule. They're gonna sneak out some wins, man. I mean,
Yeah.
there's no bowl they're talking about. They're talking about a lot of wins.
Sure.
So
Do you like
they're
Rutgers
getting.
getting 7 there?
I like Rutgers getting 7. Yep, keep it
Okay, 7.
close.
Okay.
Maybe lose, but keep it close.
And then
And
your
then
dark horse
my
dog
bonus,
of the week.
my dog of the week gave up. It's right on the line, so you want to bust my stones? It's fine. It's 3. They gave up 70 points 2 weeks ago, and now I like them outright against undefeated Pitt. I'll take UNC.
UNC, um, straight
Doesn't
up
matter. 3
against Pitt.
straight up. Yep.
And they're getting about 3. They're getting 3 points there, but
Yep.
we've got him straight up for his dark horse pick of the week. So real quick, so Weez has got Michigan plus 1.5, Arizona minus 6.5, Rutgers getting 7, and North Carolina straight up for his dark horse beating Pitt. Jump into mine real quick. I have Rutgers, Nebraska I have over 40.5 in that game. I didn't know which way to go. I think Nebraska's going to be big this week and bounce back. Although Rutgers watching them play Washington, I know they were at home. It's going to be a big homecoming for Nebraska. I don't know. I think there's going to be more than 40.5 points scored, so I got the over there. I'll also
Okay.
take Oklahoma State bouncing back. They're at home, -3 against West Virginia. I think they'll bounce back. Gundy will figure it out. They give 3 against West Virginia. I think Oklahoma State will cover that one. And I got third one was tough. There wasn't much out there. I got USC -8 at Minnesota. Minnesota started horrible. They're supposed to be horrible. They had a great week last week against Michigan. They're at home, but I think USC Miller Moss and they're getting rolling after a tough loss to Michigan.
I like that one. I had that on my
Uh,
radar. I like that pick.
and then my dark horse, I got Syracuse tomorrow night, Friday night, money line against UNLV. They're getting 6.5. I think UNLV is obviously undefeated, lost their quarterback, played even better. Syracuse, um, I like Syracuse, even though they did lose one. They lost 2 weeks ago, so 3-1. I think they'll bounce back, and I think they can beat a inferior team in UNLV. So for my dark horse.
All right,
So
nice.
all right, let's move on to just any other games this week. Mizzou Texas A&M is probably the big one that stands out. Should be exciting. Either one of those teams. Mizzou's been hanging on. A&M has a chance to really get back into the thing.
Yeah, I mean that line speaks to it for you. Like I said, I don't know where A&M will be. I think they're going to keep collecting wins with their schedule and all,
Yeah,
and they might look back and just say, "Man, we should have beat a good
this is a
but
big
nothing
game.
special Notre Dame team." Obviously, a preseason pick for me was Mizzou in. Uh, I still think they're good. I don't think they're
I had
overly
A&M.
impressive right now. No, I
I had
just
A&M. So this is our game.
that's
This is the
funny. Yeah,
game.
this is their. Well, listen, I would go if this is where you're reading the line. I'm saying, well, they got them 2.5. Like, if I had to pick, I would probably be leaning A&M here. So,
Yeah,
um,
but in terms of
yeah.
just the stakes of the season, this should be a great matchup to see who
Oh yeah,
advances.
yeah, and it'd be
Another
nice
big
for
game
everybody to
this
see
week.
another SEC team lose. All of them getting that first loss quicker would be nice, as opposed to getting into November and their whole world getting scared that we're going to have 6 of them in or something.
Yeah. Any other games stand out to you this week?
Um, yes, yeah, we do. Mets Brewers stands out. Game 3 tonight.
Tonight.
Just
Right
started.
now, what channel's that
Uh,
on? It just started. I
Lindor
can't
with a
figure out.
leadoff double.
Okay, what channel we
He
at?
got beat
ESPN?
on the
No,
throw, but the guy dropped it.
wow. All right, go
From
Mets.
ESPN.
And
Anyway,
then your
so
Gators play again Saturday. Your Gators.
yeah, but I'll finally be able to say, you know what, the slate's not amazing. I'll probably not turn that game off. Well, I say that now. Well, I'll let you know before, after halftime. I'll probably keep that game on, hopefully, and just be able to watch that.
Yeah, we'll see if Central Florida and KJ Jefferson can come back from their awful
Yeah, that
loss
was
to
big.
Colorado.
I was really hoping for UCF to have a nice, not statement, but a nice win and stay undefeated, so that
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 would be
number
nice.
could go up a little
Then they,
higher. You know
they
what I
enter
mean?
the swamp, and you can say, "Now you're coming to the swamp, and we're going to turn our
Yeah.
season
Well,
around."
this is like they're UCF's won a national championship before. Remember, so this is nothing for them, right? Going into Florida.
Yeah,
I'm kidding.
right.
That year.
No, well, they almost. Maybe they're undefeated
Yeah,
for
yeah,
this
yeah,
year.
yep. Yeah,
They got Florida
in the
State
new
one
world
year.
they won a national championship because that's how
They
they
got
feel.
Florida Stated one year or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and then so again, obviously, go Gators. We'll see. The swamp's got to be alive, offensively,
Mhm.
defensively. Put some pressure on them. Um, we'll see. It's going to be a good one.
So I could be incorrect in saying because the year's not starting earlier, but something I noticed talking to Pops. Now the 30th, so I think don't hold me to it. You guys can laugh. I think Thanksgiving's like the 23rd or something, maybe 22nd, 23rd. So a little early. And tell me if I'm crazy. The 30th seems to be that last week now, right? But um, I always thought it was, but it looks like it's the week after
Thanksgiving is
Thanksgiving.
the 20th. The latest it could possibly be in
The
November is
what? It's the
Thanksgiving.
what?
The 28th, the latest
No,
possible
so I'm
day.
wrong. Hold on. So this
No,
now,
I'm
all right,
just
no,
saying
no, no,
that is
no.
the
Hold
latest
on.
possible
Real
day.
quick, we don't have much longer. All right, I'll take sounding like an idiot, but I'll make my point. I was trying to justify that I wasn't that I was losing my mind. Clearly, I'm not now because how does every team, at least OU in Florida, have 2 idols? There's never been 2 idols before again ever who snuck an extra week into the season. It's always Thanksgiving weekend. So it's the latest Thanksgiving ever. I was trying to justify it and say it's the 23rd. So every season ends on Thanksgiving, besides Army Navy and the championship games, right? And nobody played. A couple teams played early, right? Week 0, Florida State and all. But other than that, everybody played Labor Day weekend. So how
Yeah.
are there 2 idle weeks? Am I losing my mind? I'm
Everyone's
serious.
playing 12.
There's never been 2 idle weeks because we always would have made fun of that. With the NFL getting 1, right, and having 16, now 17 games, they have 2 idle. Florida has
Not
idle last week, 3 straight idle. OU has 2
yeah.
idle.
Oregon has 1 idle. Yeah, so some teams have
What?
2 idle. Oh no,
How?
sorry. No, there's a bye week and there's an idle.
Well,
I don't understand. Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
it's still idle, but
yeah.
somebody wants to
Anyway, yeah,
chime in.
just
It is interesting. Sorry, I that jacked the show at that, but I had to get my
yeah.
point out.
No, I don't know. We'll have to look into that for next show. We'll see what we're.
Yeah. We'll probably never do it again, but either way, it's there.
No, I want to look into it after this.
Well, here's the thing, too. You have the fall, right? Your team. You have 2 stinking weeks now. Like, I guess instead of another cupcake, you just have another idle week, right? You have another week off. So I guess it's one and the same. But, do you want to
Yeah,
watch your
so
team play Stetson and win by 50, or do you just not want to watch them that week and take a week off?
not watch that.
Yeah.
Who cares? But
It's not much yet.
Iowa to Ohio State this week. Ohio State's favorite 3 touchdowns. If it was at Iowa, it'd be like maybe this could be a surprise game for Iowa State to be scared. I don't know. SMU at Louisville. A match to see who can move on. They both have 1 loss. It's going to be a fun one. Auburn, Georgia. And then Ole Miss at South Carolina. Anything you think about?
Yeah, no. Hey, listen. South Carolina, we'd be talking really good things too if they held on against LSU, right? So still a solid team. They have Bama the following week at noon, so I think they're definitely solid. Again, I don't know where it puts you in the SEC. Maybe it's 9th, but they're solid. And then I like. Let's see where Louisville is. Right? Are they toast? Or I think they're letting in a good. That was going to be my other pick. They're a good SMU team.
Yeah.
Who just waxed Florida State. So we'll see. That's a big bounce back and a team that's got some offense, so they can't be sleeping.
Yeah. And then last game, obviously at night, I think game days at Miami at Cal. Any shot for Cal? Just with the crowd and anything. I mean, they talk trash.
No game days. No game days horrible, and I think Cal's maybe decent, but they had nowhere to go. Plus, they did admit they haven't been to Cal, so I think they're like it might be 10 years before we go to Cal. So especially if they're the ACC. So let's get that out of the way. Let's hope Miami fell asleep on the plane too long and overindulge themselves as well, and maybe there'll be a competitive ball game.
Yeah, it should be interesting. No more half hurricane, Joe. That was horrible. That's horrible. It's going down there. Unbelievable. Prayers to everyone down there. Hopefully the government can get involved and do something to help out, people down there. Unbelievable. So, and then we have, all right, so that wraps up this week. This is more, let's see what happens week, because the games are there. There's going to be not as many crazy matchups, but we'll see.
We're not even in your heavy conference play yet. So, and it's not even really, how is it in Chicago? It's not even actually like at all a bit cold yet either. So, I feel like we're still
70 day and then it goes to like 50s at night.
Yeah.
Getting there.
Yep. It still feels early. So I'm fine with that.
But yeah, don't tell me if the Mets scored because I am going to rewind it. I think they didn't because it's a commercial, but we'll follow that soon. So go Mets, go Sooners, go Gators.
I think they didn't either.
Yeah, well, it looks probably like
you can just go forward.
Alonso needs to step up, but yeah, we'll see if he can.
Yeah.
Jeez. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah, it is.
All right, so that does it for episode.
Great, once again, for our leader.
8, episode 8 of the College Football Show. That's Weaz over there.
Some sweat equity.
Enjoy college football this week. Get ready for the crazy week next week. Good luck to your teams if they're playing this week. Mine's got a bye. We got to gear up for Red River. Go Gators. We'll see what they can do. And,
we can't guarantee, but there might be a little live this week. On Saturday. We'll see.
Yeah, no, eventually we're going to do some other interesting things for sure. So we're just getting
Yes.
started here. Thanks everybody for watching. Have a great weekend watching football. Enjoy the weather,
Powered
and
by
we'll see you
Riverside.
next time.